I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, sponsored by the energy drink.
Oh, don't mind us busting in on your Barbie, do you, fellas?
I hurt myself once on the Barbie back home.
What'd you burn yourself?
Nah, I fell off.
Australians are Castlemaine 4X in everywhere.
All I want is moonlight, music, and you in my arms. All I want is moonlight, music, and all of your charms. I want to put all my troubles away in your arms.
The hot and fiery Zinger Twister from KFC, only $2.75.
Bellis perennis, a.k.a. the daisy.
They cause suffering to millions every year. But we can start to fight back against hay fever. Benadryl is active in just 15 minutes. No non-drowsy allergy tablet works faster. Flowers.
Don't let them get away with it.
If you're too wimpy to wax, try new Veet Wax Strips. They're for sensitive skin. Your legs will stay feeling smooth for up to 3 whole weeks, long after you've given up feeling wimpy. Veet, a feeling that lasts.
Are you ready to have things done to your body you never dreamed of? Try Herbal Essence's Natural Volume Shampoo with extra rich volumizing lather. It turns thin, limp hair into hair that's full of body and totally fulfilled.
Yes!
Wow.
You only want me for my body.
Herbal Essence's Natural Volume, a totally organic experience.
The air, the sea, the sand, where better for a short break than the seaside?
Here, that's where. We've got the architecture, the style, the nightlife.
No. You don't want all that on a break. You want to slow down a bit.
Absolute nonsense. Stick to dry land and stretch those legs.
What, and get blisters? If you want the perfect break, you want to take the weight off your feet.
Make up your own mind. Call 08454 56 56 56 for your England brochure.
Help! Don't move! Hold on!
The final conflict.
You've been a poisonous influence all your life.
You always took things too personally.
This time, only one will walk away. The Vice, a new series coming soon.
The energy drink. Take on the day, why don't you?
Welcome back to I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. It's just after 7 a.m. Monday morning and it's shaping up to be a beautiful morning. The last morning in the jungle from his jungle adventure.
I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, sponsored by the energy drink.
from as low as 5.6%. Homeowners can get a range of personal loans at Halifax.
Because starting inside tomorrow's Sun, there's a fantastic Scratch a Million game card. We've got a whopping 1 million to give away. 1 in 5 lucky readers will win a cash prize. That's 1 in 5 guaranteed winners.
You want to give to the third world, but doubt creeps in, saying it won't make any difference. And as a result, apathy rears its ugly head. But if you knew that just £10 spent on beehives can provide enough income to send 30 East African children to school for a year, you'd defeat anything that stops you giving to Christian Aid this week.
First, after first, after first. The new Audi A8. Vorsprung-Dirk Technik.
Even though business is in uncertain times, you can still guarantee. When you leave the document to the last minute...
Where are the figures? Where's last year's figures?
Oh, sorry. In the forecast, at the back.
Oh, yeah. Janet? Janet, have you got the charts?
They're here.
And you can also be certain with BT Business Plan you'll get round-the-clock service support and most UK fixed-line calls will cost no more than 10p. To sign up, call 0800 333 300.
The energy drink. Take on the day, why don't you?
Welcome back to I'm a Celebrity. Get...
Why, hey man, you've been on fire today. Aye, it's a bit hot late in case you haven't noticed. That's champion, that.
I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, sponsored by The Energy Drink.
There is a group of people who spend all summer working in one of Europe's hottest resorts.
Sexy, sir.
And this is what they'll be doing.
You ready for a party? We're having a right laugh. Whoa, get this sound off. It's the best job in the world.
The most outrageous programme is back for a brand new series. Club Reps The Workers, Thursday, 10:30.
Tia Lusso. Sometimes you know when something feels right. You just know when. You just know where. A delicious blend of smooth rum, rich coffee and fresh cream. Tia Lusso. You just know.
We understand you're trying to grow your business without exploiting the power of ITV1.
Last year, hundreds of local businesses advertised on ITV1 to help boost sales. Look, the stamp costs about 27p. And yet the average cost to reach each potential customer in this region is less than a penny.
Not woken up to the cost-effective power of ITV1, have we, madam?
For your regional business pack, call Carlton Sales.
Des Lynam has the premiership in 10 minutes. First here on ITV1, slightly later than billed. The ITV Weekend News with John Suchet.
In hiding, the spy at the heart of the IRA. Prayers for Daniel, his parents cling to hope. Powell's mission to bring peace to the Middle East. And the agony and the joy of the relegation battle.
The ITV Weekend News with John Suchet.
Good evening. evening. It's emerged tonight the man identified as the government's top spy within the IRA may be grilled by Britain's most senior policeman. The mole, known to his handlers as Steak Knife, is now in hiding after his identity was revealed in newspapers and on the internet. Steak Knife is known to have held one of the most senior positions in the IRA in the 70s. But it's claimed he was so useful to British intelligence he was allowed to get away with dozens of murders to protect his identity. Helen Wright reports.
Britain's top IRA spy is in hiding tonight, his cover blown by newspapers in Scotland, Belfast and Dublin. From the mid-70s, the spy, codenamed Steak Knife, passed information to the British Army during the so-called Dirty War on Republican terror. The insight he gave on IRA operations was considered so important, it's claimed the security forces allowed him to get away with torture, kidnap and killing.
Steak Knife held hugely powerful positions at the very heart of IRA operations. He was regarded by the British military as the jewel in the crown of its network of agents in Northern Ireland. He once led the IRA's internal security unit, remaining a member, it's thought, until just 2 years ago. His unit led the hunt for spies and informers within the IRA, the perfect cover for his own operations.
Commentators say now his cover's blown, it could affect other personnel.
Very considerable reassurance will have to be given both to existing sources to make sure they continue the supply of useful information and for the cultivation and recruitment of future sources.
Met Police Commissioner Sir John Stevens will interview Steak Knife as part of his inquiry into double agents in Northern Ireland. He fears other informants were sacrificed to save the spy from assassination. Helen Wright, ITV News.
Daniel Entwistle's family said today they were clinging to an iron bar of hope as prayers for the missing boy's return were said at a special church service. It's now 9 days since Daniel disappeared. Penny Marshall reports.
9 days and 8 nights without news, without sightings, without Daniel. Today his family held a special service, trying to keep hope alive.
As the week has gone by, we now hear that we should prepare for the worst. Yeah, we should, but also we can't lose hope.
8-year-old Daniel disappeared in Great Yarmouth last Saturday. Captured on CCTV that afternoon in his local shop, the schoolboy vanished just hours later. And despite exhaustive searching, police haven't been able to find out what happened to him. The only clue, his bike, abandoned by the harbour wall. Daniel couldn't swim, and there are now real fears that he may have fallen and drowned.
As we light this candle of hope.
Daniel's parents were too upset to attend this morning's service. They have personally searched the streets night and day for their son, and they, like the police, have found nothing to solve the mystery of his tragic disappearance. Penny Marshall, ITV News.
The man handpicked by President Bush to run Iraq after the war may soon be leaving his post after less than a month in charge. Retired US General Jay Garner is said to be leaving as part of a wide-ranging shake-up of US operations there. It follows criticism over the way the rebuilding of Iraq has been handled. The US Secretary of State Colin Powell had blunt messages for both Israel and the Palestinian Authority today. Visiting the region, he said both sides must implement the roadmap towards peace. The new plan aims to create an independent Palestinian state bordering a secure Israel. From Jerusalem, Neil Connery reports on the push for peace.
On a training mission, the men the new Palestinian Prime Minister hopes will put a stop to attacks by extremist groups. Mahmoud Abbas needs to convince Israel that he's serious on security if the roadmap peace plan is to get up and running. But in the Gaza Strip, members of the militant Ahmed Abu al-Rish brigade are also training to blow up Israeli tanks with roadside bombs. Along with Hamas and Islamic Jihad, they're opposed to the roadmap. For Israel, they must stop before peace can start.
Thank you very much.
A point the Prime Minister Ariel Sharon wasted little time in stressing to the US Secretary of State Colin Powell.
Israel will not be able to make any concessions, and there are no any compromises when it comes to security, not now and not in the future.
As PAL headed to Jericho to meet the Palestinian Prime Minister, they were burying an Israeli killed in the West Bank this morning by a Palestinian gunman near a Jewish settlement. Mahmoud Abbas told PAL Israel must make concessions on settlements in the occupied territories. Colin Powell said he told the Israelis to ease the daily conditions of the Palestinians. But this latest peace plan faces many obstacles. The right of return for Palestinian refugees, Israeli settlements, the ability of the Palestinians to crack down on extremist groups, and the future of Jerusalem itself. Despite the diplomacy, real progress on all of these still seems remote. Neil Connery, ITV News, Jerusalem.
Here, there's controversy over plans to allow health authorities to add fluoride to drinking water. Opponents say it effectively forces medication on people, but the government says it's needed in areas with high dental problems. Causing death by dangerous driving is to be punished by a new maximum sentence of 14 years as part of an attempt to cut the death toll on Britain's roads. And police are investigating a second fire on Brighton's historic West Pier. The blaze follows another major fire in March. Football now. West Ham have lost their battle to stay in the Premiership. They could only draw their final game, while relegation rivals Bolton won. Action from both matches can be seen after this programme. Alex Thomas now reports on a day of triumph and disaster for two sets of fans.
This was the scene in the players' tunnel at Bolton's Reebok Stadium, minutes before their most important match of the season kicked off. At the same time, in Birmingham St Andrews grounds, more nervous looks on the faces of the West Ham players. Two teams, one aim, to stay in the Premiership. The supporters of each club seemed confident their side could do it. And Bolton's fans had plenty more to cheer when their side went 2-0 up after just 20 minutes. Delight for manager Sam Allardyce, but his opposite number at West Ham, Trevor Brooking, was less happy with a goalless first half. In the second half, the Bolton crowd could only listen nervously to their radios as news of West Ham's fight back filtered through. The Hammers' support in Birmingham was briefly buoyant, but Bolton held on for victory. They will be in the Premiership next season. West Ham are relegated.
I'm absolutely gutted, but then again, we did our best. That's all we can do.
West Ham will be back. We're not Division 1 material. We will be back. I guarantee it.
I can't believe a team this squad has gone down. I mean, something upstairs in Upton Park has gone seriously wrong.
West Ham will have to cope with more than £15 million less next season and may be forced to sell their best players. Bolton stars are staying. Alex Thomas, ITV News.
Manchester United, of course, secured the Premiership title a week ago, and today the team finally got their hands on the trophy. It was presented at Everton's Goodison Park ground after the match between the two sides. It's the 8th time in the last 11 seasons that Alex Ferguson and his men have taken the Premiership title. And highlights of all today's football action follows on ITV1. From the Weekend News team, though, that's the news. Good night.